What is up, everybody? It is your boy Ice Cole. You've made it to CTD Roundtable. And today we're going to be talking about Loki, Disney Plus's Loki. But before we get into that, I'll introduce you to our panel today. Pretty much the usual crowd. We got C. Nina Mayo down there in the corner. What's up, C. Nina Mayo?
Nothing much. What's going on, guys? How we doing?
We good. We good. We got Charlie G. What's going on, Charlie G?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
Oh, we good. We good. And my man on the ones and twos, we got Mr. Mr. Dapper over there with the juices and berries all in his beer. What's going on, Ty?
What's up, bro? What's to it?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into Loki. We've been trying to talk about this for a while. But pretty much on the surface, what did y'all think about the show? Somebody?
Number one, it kind of bring everything together.
Okay.
I thought it went so smooth. There was no complaints. It wasn't anything I was expecting or not expecting. I had a huge open mind with this because it could have gone either way, and it just tied everything together so beautifully.
Okay, that's pretty much how I went into it too. Just like went in there with an open mind. Pretty much that's how I do like almost everything. I try not to be a smart mark about it. You know, I just try to go into it with an open mind. And so, last thing I want to do is like start trying to get my hopes up and have all these theories and things like that. And then I get disappointed when when they throw me for a loop. But I would like to hear what Charlie G got to say about it. What did you think about it, just on the surface, like as a show? What did you think about it?
I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
I'm sort of like y'all. I don't like to pigeonhole myself, but I do like to theorize. Like that's the fun of it to me, and being wrong. Like it could go so many different ways because I've read so many different comic books. So to me, the fun in it is theorizing and being wrong. But at the same time, a lot of the times I get a lot of stuff right. And it may not be the bigger things. Most of the times it's the smaller things that I get right. So I'm not disappointed in it. I thought it was great. I actually think it was the best show this summer. That's just my take. That's just my take on it. Other people may feel different, but I thought all the shows were actually pretty good. But this was my favorite, and I had a little Loki bias going into it, but they definitely proved their point.
Okay. Ty, what's up, man? What'd you think about it?
Just like Charlie said, I thought it was the best of the small screen Marvel shows so far. I think they get. I'm not speaking from a standpoint of like the comic books or comic book accuracy or anything like that, but I think aesthetically they did great. I like the costumes. I like the casting. I like the writing. I like the acting. I think it was almost as close to perfect as it could be.
I think you had mentioned a few weeks ago, because I think you started watching it later than we started watching.
Yeah, I like to binge watch.
Yeah. I think you had mentioned that so far it was so far at that point it was better than most Marvel movies. Now, why do you think that? Like, what made
I don't
you
know,
say
bro.
that?
It just really hit on all cylinders. Like let's go to the WandaVision, and I don't want to deviate too far, but like WandaVision, I felt like started off kind of slow, right? It was still a good Marvel show, but it just started off kind of slow. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think started out cool, but it's like I don't know how that gumbo really came together for me. It just might be I don't like those characters that much. It was a decent show, but it just wasn't like super A quality for me. But like this one was like from the get go, it was there. It was locked in. You know what I'm saying? The characters, the premise. I don't know if it's because they're introducing, that particular villain that we're probably gonna talk about, but it's just something about it was hitting on all cylinders.
Okay. All right. So Nina, All right, so you mentioned you went into the show without any expectations and things like that. So you just pretty much went in with an open mind and everything. Um, was there anything in this show that actually like just surprised you? Like something that was like, damn, I never expected something like that would have happened.
I didn't expect to see Elias.
Mm.
I wasn't
Okay.
expecting to see Elias. I thought it would need more explanation and more characters than what they brought in, but they pulled it off pretty good. Like it basically it. Okay, so in Loki, he said that he tamed Elias. That's basically what they did in the comic books too, without all the extra storyline behind it. So that was I was very very surprised to see Elias and surprised to see how he fit so well without you know the actual backstory to
Okay.
what it actually is. That was a surprise.
Charlie,
That was pretty much it.
Char- Charlie, what do you have to say about what Nina said? Like, was that a, you know,
I thought Elias was a good touch. But I think my surprise, to me, for the entire show was Miss Minutes and
okay.
how eerie and how creepy she is through the whole show.
Yeah, they did a
Like
great job with that.
you know for a fact that she's hiding more than what she knows. And
Oh yeah.
on a couple of those scenes toward the end, when Renslayer was asking her for information, you can tell Miss Minutes was like holding her off for a
Mm-hmm.
second. She wasn't like being as snappy as she normally is with the files and stuff like that. So I think my overall surprise was Miss Minutes. The rest of the show I had so much of an open mind on. Um, I kind of already knew that who the villain was going to be. So like nothing really surprised me except Miss Minutes. That was and
Gotcha.
how real she is too. Like you see in like the second or third episode, Tom tried to take a couple swipes at her, and she like
Right.
you can hear her jumping and landing on the stuff in the office. So I want to know how powerful Miss Minutes is.
I
That's
watched,
my thing.
just to piggyback on that, I watched some videos like explaining like other directions that they were gonna go, and
Mm-hmm.
one of them said that they were excuse me, that they were actually supposed to have a fight with her.
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying?
Believe it.
Which would have been kind of crazy. Watching
would've
two
been.
Lokis fight her.
Well, think about it. Right when they enter that palace, you get a jump scare with Miss Minutes. So
Right.
I wouldn't doubt that there
that
was
was kinda
supposed to be a
creepy.
fight scene, and they were supposed to probably try and take her out. And then look how she was like all angel and devil on their shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, if you want the world, I'll give you that. If you want the Infinity Gauntlet, it's yours. You
Right.
know, just
submit to
how much,
these
yeah,
demands.
like how much
basically.
Right.
power do you have, Miss Minutes? Like it's real creepy, man. Like I don't,
Miss Minutes a
that was
G. Miss
yeah,
Minutes a G.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
y'all see how Miss like on that last episode, Miss Minutes just popped up and she was like, well, this isn't what I asked you for. And Miss Minutes was like, well, this is what he thinks you need.
Mhm.
So
Right,
Miss Minutes pop
right.
up like a G. I like Miss Minutes, man. And I think the cartoon aspect of it just fit. Like, you know, her just sliding across the screen and walking across the screen. I thought that was pretty cool that they went that, just the way it looked. I thought it was pretty cool. What
The fact that
about
they
you?
got Tara Strong is
What
like
was that?
the fact that they got Tara Strong voicing her is
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
top of everything. So
yeah,
Can't
yeah.
argue with
That
that.
was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. What about you, Mr. Charlie G? Was there anything in there that actually just like threw you for a loop? Like I know you say you like to have your theories, but like was there anything in there that was like, no, wow, I didn't expect that to happen.
I didn't expect them to mix Jonathan Majors and basically Kang and the one who knows all. I didn't think they were gonna meld all that together. That was a cool thing, actually. Because in the comics I think he's a completely separate being.
Right.
But I think the way that they tied that together it makes sense in the story I think they're trying to tell. So I'm not mad at it at all. So I mean, did it surprise me? Yes, because those are supposed to be two different people, and they have
Right.
two different abilities, but they made it so that basically he is going to be who I said I thought he was.
Now, who is
So
that? So go ahead. Man, whip it out, bro. Go ahead. Bro, just throw it
well,
out there. Who do you think it's gonna be?
if you read the comics and if you've been paying attention, if you saw his attire, he's dressed just in the same colors as Kang the Conqueror.
Right.
And he starts out as a few other people first. So he's Ramatut, and he even explained it at the end of the show. He explained it. And all that stuff looked vibranium-ish. I don't know if it was vibranium or not, but they used that same kind of the models that they used to tell his story look almost like the models from Wakanda.
Okay.
So
Yep.
right. So I kind of got that kind of vibe as well. But to get back to it, there's a war. There's a multiversal war, and it's not people. They're Kangs. All the Kangs are fighting each other. And he said that he is basically the tamest one out of all of them. So if you kill me, there's going to be somebody that takes my spot that is probably way worse. So this is going to be epic. And I think he's going to span probably 2 or 3 movies. Maybe touch another show. But oh man, Kang the Conqueror, you can almost expect him to be connected to the Fantastic Four too.
Well, there's another season of Loki coming. I don't know exactly when it's coming.
Right. So we don't know. Yeah. So it seems like we're going to get some movies before another season of Loki come.
I would think so. I would think we would get this next phase of movies, and then we might get a little lull between some movies, and then some more TV shows in that little bit of space between phases or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, because we still have the What If series, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Kang pop up in What If.
That would be cool. That would be real cool.
I think the whole thing is the whole MCU we've been seeing this entire time is one big time loop.
Yep.
Like it's all one big time loop.
And I don't know how much
Kang has just been trying to keep it adjusted to where he is in control.
I don't know how much time travel and time circulation and stuff I really want to deal with. I don't know how long they can keep doing that before it gets a little tiresome.
I think they're going to simplify it. I think they're going to simplify it, though.
They have to simplify it.
They're going to simplify it so that everybody else is not so overboard with it.
Right.
I think they're going to revitalize the way they explain it.
I don't think it's a thing about people being bored. I think it's a thing about people understanding. Not a lot of people are grasping this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it online. Not a lot of people are actually grasping it. And sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, it's hard for me to actually, I have to sit down and be like, oh, okay, all right, okay, yeah, I got it. But Ty, you had what did you had just made a comment. What did you say about you don't know how much more people can take, or
no, I just I don't want the time thing to become like a trope and it just keeps on going.
I think it's something that I think that's something that I think that's what this is about. I think that's what this whole phase is about the timeline. But like Charlie said, they got to find a way to simplify it,
right?
So people can digest. So
your average watcher.
I think with Endgame, a lot of people got lost with how Scott got lost in the quantum realm, and then he came back, and a lot of people got lost with that. And I don't think that and I'm not saying it's Marvel's fault. I just think that a lot of people just didn't grasp how all that happened, and then the time heist, and then how Loki escapes with. A lot of people weren't really even on board with the Loki show. They were like, "How's he gonna have a show?" I'm like, "Y'all didn't see him escape with the Tesseract."
Right.
Like that was not supposed to happen.
Right.
That was an entire event. And I think that's the other thing. They're going to explain Nexus beings over the next 3 to 4 movies. I think they're going to explain Nexus beings and how they play the major part in what's going on in the timeline, because the Eternals is going to really, I think, dive into Nexus beings.
So do we tie the TVA and Kang and all of that to the previous phases, or are we going into our own thing?
Well, here's the thing. Because from outside point of view, we all been watching the same MCU, right? MCU, how Kevin Feige has said it in front of us, and everybody forgot about the Fox verse of Marvel movies.
As they should.
The Fox verse.
As they should.
I
So
thought the movies were okay.
And then you got to remember, Feige and his brother worked on the last X-Men, and they were appalled at how it came off to the audience. So
as they should
trying
be.
so they try to
I don't
look
know
for
how
a
you,
redo.
I don't know how you can mess up the Phoenix Saga. I just really don't understand that.
Twice though, like twice.
They mixed it up twice. It was like how is that even possible?
Same director too.
Oh, okay,
Man,
makes sense.
So Feige and company is looking for a redo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at how they doing this, because you can't have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness if there is no multiverse. Because as of this moment, inside, it looks like, inside the MCU, it looks like all of this stuff is happening on one timeline. Whereas on the outside world, all of this stuff is happening under the Marvel watch, because we just now acquired the characters we needed to make all of this one universe, or one big.
Who's to say that Kang hasn't been pulling the strings even over Thanos?
Is Kang gonna be like a Marvel executive in one of these universes where he's setting all these movies and stuff up the cinematic universe?
Listen,
they're saying that
he needs to end somewhere.
They're saying there's a version of him that is going to be like a Tony Stark. Because he lost his tech, or somehow he lost his ability to time travel, and he basically just built an empire like Tony Stark. He was like, forget it, I'll just be rich and rule that way with money.
Yep.
So with Kang, there are a lot of ways to go.
Okay.
Like you can bring in Apocalypse because he was Ramatut. You know what I'm saying? Like and
Immortus.
Basically Ramatut, Immortus is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can bring all that together with Apocalypse being basically the godfather of mutants. So, and they lived at the same time in the 30th century. So it's a lot of ways you can go. You can go to the future and start talking about how he's a descendant of the Richards family, and it's deep with Kang, man.
I'm a bit of a pessimist, and I just hear a bunch of ways where they can mess this up. That's what I'm hearing right
now. I just feel like there are a lot of cool ways they can go. They can mess it up potentially, but it's so many cool things they can do, and so many cool ways and avenues they have. I don't see them messing it up.
Well, right now I see Marvel at its stride. I mean, I think they started off slow, with the Iron Mans, and Iron Man was cool, but some of the movies in between, some of the movies in between, I ain't really like them Thor movies. I think Ragnarok was cool, but like the first couple Thor movies, I didn't. I mean, the first Avenger was cool, but again, it looked a little weird. Like I don't know, man. But now
I thought all the team up movies were good. But I do think that some of the other stories were a little lackluster, but I don't think that's their fault. They didn't have control of all their characters when they started this. And look at all the characters they've amassed since they've basically gotten started. They basically have almost strong-armed all their content back. Almost. So, but I get what you're saying though. I can understand. I'm a comic book guy. Like I've read a lot of these comics, and I know a lot of these backstories. So to me, seeing them and seeing how they made Hawkeye like a first-rate Avenger, I thought that was dope. Because in the comic books, you don't really hear about Hawkeye like that.
Right.
Captain America is a great hero, and he's very popular, but he's not a mainstay in comics like that. People don't really swoon over Captain America in comic books. He's not that guy like that. But if you put him on the screen, you can definitely make him a bankable character. I just love how they've taken their third rate characters, minus like the Hulk and like even Iron Man is a third rate character, honestly, to me, but they've taken third rate characters and made them popular. That's what they've done. And
Look at
look at
Zemo.
how look at how DC is doing with main characters, and they're failing, in my opinion. They're failing. But
That's everyone's opinion.
look at how Marvel is doing with third rate characters. They've dabbled on Spider-Mans and stuff like that, but look at how they've done with their third rate characters. They've made them blossom. Look at the Nebulas and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody was paying attention to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew who they were before the movies came out.
Right. And that
That's
wound up,
true.
and yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know. I knew about him. I didn't know much about him, and that's my favorite. Those are my favorite characters. That's my favorite franchise. I mean, that's my favorite movies out of this franchise. I think their banter is pretty good. But I mean, just to bring this back, kind of back into back into Loki and back into just what we were talking about. This has been a real good discussion so far. Let me ask you, so did y'all get the ending y'all expected?
Yes. I called it.
So
Haha.
you did go. Listen,
theory?
you did go in there with a theory.
Well,
look at you. See,
I did. The last episode, when the last episode was starting, I started to get like this really weird feeling. And as I was listening to Miss Minutes make her deal with the Lokis, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna make He Who Remains variant 0, and Kang is gonna be a variant of He Who Remains. I love it. Oh my God. And then as soon as I said that, the door opened and it's Jonathan Majors dressed like Immortus. So I'm like, oh shit. Caught one. Yay me. This is the first time I've ever been right about my theories. But like I said, I'm way not mad at that, because in the comic book, when you get to He Who Remains, it's just an old trivial being at the end of time, and he's explaining how to stabilize each multiverse, not just the one.
Right.
And him talking about how he's tired of looking over time. That's about it. They made it a little bit more interesting in the comic books, I think.
They made it more dramatic also. It's a way better told story.
Very dramatic.
To me.
Way.
It's a way better told story.
Right.
So
Nina, you keyed in on with Jonathan Majors, right? Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How good was he in that episode?
Oh my God. He
stole it. Really good.
Like he was there.
Really good in that episode.
Like he'd been there for all the episodes, and he killed it. He stole the entire show.
He didn't need much time for me. He didn't need much time on camera for me to be like, okay, wow, what a and he's making me because he's a good actor. He's a really good actor.
Very
good actor.
And I know we're gonna get different versions of him throughout this.
Oh yes.
And I want to see the Conqueror version. I want to see that at the end when you see the statue, I want to see that version of him. I want to see the Conqueror version of him. I can't wait to see it. But I just want to how did you feel about that performance? Like
I thought that performance sealed it all up pretty nicely. Typically, they hit you with the cliffhanger. This cliffhanger didn't have me like upset. It really had me wanting more, but I was also satiated at the same time. I was kind of like, no, that was an excellent episode, and most of the episode was him talking and explaining everything.
Yes.
So I like that direction, and I like getting a big spoonful of what's coming and a nice little explanation or whatever. So I was very satisfied with it. I like you said, I want to see the other variations, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to act that same way with the other variations.
Right.
So I would like to see how he's going to change it up a little bit for the other characters. I'm very interested. You mentioned that statue. I'm wondering, is that statue even the Conqueror version?
Right.
Exactly.
That might not even be the Conqueror version.
Exactly.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So I'm very interested just to see where they go next.
Okay. So I just want to talk about like him, because like y'all mentioned, he didn't do much as far as like any action or anything like that. It was just him talking and the
Right.
way he did, you know, his cadence and you know
He
the
was
way
very
he
neurotic. He was very
yes
neurotic.
yes he brought you in to actually um just have you wonder and have you like, where is he going? What is about to happen? It was one part in it that really just like got me right into everything, got me right into the TV. And when he was saying, he said, "Wow, I don't know where to go here. I knew everything that was about to happen
Up
up
until this
until
moment.
7, 8, 9 seconds ago."
Right.
And then you know saw the timeline starting to split off and things like that. Man, it just a
That's
great
deep.
performance. I
That's
cannot talk
deep.
about that performance enough. Uh, Kudos to him. I mean, he if he got me, he got everybody. He got a lot of people just wanting to see more of him.
Not only
Oh
Is
that,
yeah.
look how he created that doubt between the both of them. Like they came into
yeah,
this palace
yeah.
basically
Mm-hmm.
combined, like we're together and trying to do what we want to do. But he created so much doubt in that little amount of time that they were standing up there discussing what his plan was, that he basically made it so they didn't trust each other when they've been trusting each other like the last 4 to 5 episodes.
Mm.
Which is ridiculous. How did he create that much doubt
Here's the
in
thing.
like
Here's the
4 to
thing with
5
that.
minutes?
Just to jump onto that, there was a line in there about she can't trust, and then the particular Loki, that's the star of this series, he can't be
Right.
trusted. So
Right.
Right.
their variants are kind of incompatible. So the very fact that they were even working together was
It's an
fairly
anomaly, period.
yeah, it was an anomaly
Right.
and a paradox almost in itself.
Right.
So I also like the fact that like she couldn't control herself. Like he explained everything that was going to happen. He laid it out. The untrustable Loki is like, no, this brother might be right. Let's
Right.
not
Right.
do this. But she is so enraged at how her life turned out because they took her as a child that she has to kill him no matter what.
Right.
You know, so you know it kind of puts free will actually into doubt because it's almost like she couldn't make that choice. She could not
She was
not
almost
make that choice.
compelled.
Yeah, she was compelled to do it.
Yeah, because of her upbringing and running her entire life from the TVA, she felt like she was done an injustice and she felt like she needed to end that.
Right.
So it was just crazy how he created that avenue between them and just basically made it into a highway. Like they actually started fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy.
But I
loved it. It was
when she actually did the deed, he just looks at her and says, "I'll see you soon."
See you soon.
I'll see you soon. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He
That
was
pretty cool.
banking on her anger. I don't think he was banking on them saving the one timeline. I think he was, even though he didn't know what was going to happen, he was banking on her being that angry.
I think he was just banking on an ending, period, whether they chose to take over for him or whether one of them killed him. I think he was just banking on an ending, period. I don't think he knew. He said himself.
Said he was
I've
tired.
known exactly how this was gonna go up until 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
He didn't know the outcome. They could have taken over and he could have gone on about his way. He wouldn't have died or nothing. He would have just left, you know.
Yeah,
But
he said that.
it was a great way to tie a bow on that. And basically them working together was, like I said, it was an anomaly because the one planet was supposed to blow up and it was just skewing so far off into the cosmos of a timeline that it wasn't even, that no one had ever seen a timeline skew like that. Mobius even said it. Have you seen a timeline skew like that before? And it was because those two were working together. They were a combined unit.
Right.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It's really crazy.
They got to dive into Nexus beings a lot more.
So we pretty much been talking about this for about 20 minutes, and we've been mostly talking about that last episode.
Right, exactly.
But here's the thing: the whole series was good, and it caused controversy in the beginning with everybody mad that the Infinity Stones were paperweights, and we saw all these other Loki variants throughout the show.
Gator Loki.
Gator Loki. We seen
Throg.
we seen how Loki couldn't be trusted, but then we actually saw Loki change from the Loki we know
Growth.
into more of a
character
a
arc.
person. Yes. But I want to ask everybody on here, like, what was your favorite part and why? Like, what did you see on this throughout the whole series? It don't have to be the last episode. It could be something on the first episode, the third episode. But what did you see that you were like, okay, yeah, this is different. I like this. Kick it off with Charlie G.
I actually think the Infinity Stones being paperweights was like
it's brilliant.
I thought it was a stroke of genius, because what better way to say we're off of that now?
Yes.
This doesn't matter anymore.
And kill it. Yes.
Yeah, you got to knock it down at its feet, and they did that. Like he opened up
right
the
off
drawer.
The bat.
There were a drawer full
right
of them, and he was like, "Oh, there are millions of these everywhere.
Yeah,
we use them as paperweights." Like that is because people thought that was the penultimate power, and it's not. That's not even like the Infinity Gauntlet is a great weapon in the Marvel scheme of things, but it's not the strongest entity or thing in the universe or the multiverse. It's not. You got people that can alter actual reality. You have people that can actually like punch people into particles. Like that. Like, I understand everybody's big hang up with the Infinity Gauntlet and all of that, but a lot of those people that are actually mad about it have not even read the Infinity Saga to either understand what that gauntlet represents or what it means. So, I mean, I can understand them being upset because they felt like that was some godlike power. But trust me, there are way bigger things and way more things to worry about in the Marvel universe than just the Infinity Gauntlet. Trust me.
Right. Nina, you up? What was your favorite? What stood out to you? What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment had to come from the very first episode. The whole entire introduction to the TVA was immaculate. Like, it scared you on a level that you didn't know you were supposed to be scared. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know this particular place existed. You didn't know this particular power existed. Like, it was just the way they introduced you to the TVA was headstrong, and they pulled it off.
So question, and you guys will know this better than me, and I'll let you get back to it. Was the TVA ever introduced in the comics?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
See,
okay.
That was gonna be my next trip off. It was introduced in the comics, but it was introduced in the comics as overseeing multiple verses. Not just the one timeline. They were overseeing all timelines. And everybody that worked in the TVA was a variant of Mobius and Mobius. Like, it was hundreds of Mobius and Mobiuses everywhere. Every agent that worked in the TVA was a Mobius variant. Every last one of them.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah,
more like the bureaucracy part of it. It had like the office atmosphere, like you see with old boy that had the drawer full of Infinity Stones and stuff like that. And Mobius basically ran around with troops that had the TVA on their back or whatever, and they ran around pruning time. Like, it's pretty much, it's almost comic accurate. I'm not gonna say it's like exactly comic accurate because, like she said, there's only one TVA in the comics, but now what we're seeing is there are multiple TVAs and multiple timelines. So that's what's different, and that's what's going to make a nice change about what's going on in the movies.
Oh yeah.
So there's multiple TVAs and multiple timelines. See, I took that different. Are you saying like that last episode made you think there was multiple TVAs? See, I took that a little different. I think they Oh man, maybe you're right. Maybe you're
Why
right.
wouldn't
Who
they know
knows?
who he? Why wouldn't they know who he was?
Right.
You
Well,
know,
it's either another timeline or they changed the
They
actual
changed something. Got
timeline.
changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I thought happened. I thought the timeline just got changed. But I mean, who knows? We'll definitely find out. We definitely finding
Oh
out.
yeah.
But Ty, what was your favorite part? Like, was there something that stood out to you?
Not any like one particular thing, but I would say the entire just scope of what they did for me was that's the thing that kind of resonated with me. Because like Charlie was saying, like we were doing the Infinity Saga or whatever, and you had Thanos, and you just felt like this was the culmination of everything, and now you have just a whole other lane, 4 or 5 lane highway that we just jumped onto, and we can go any direction. We can change whatever. We can bring these people back from the dead. We can do this. So just the entire scope of where they're headed is what was kind of shocking to me and kind of had my jaw opening a little bit. Just the possibilities of what could be coming.
Okay. With me, it was one part. I think it might have been the 5th episode where and it's just going to show you the nuance of the show. It's very nuanced, but it was one part in the 5th episode where they were waiting for Eliath, and they were late. They were basically just shooting the shit, and they were I think Sylvie was just in the field, just looking off, and Loki came next to her, and there was almost a moment where they showed like some semblance of intimacy. Um, and in that, it's very nuanced because like they're both they're both in uncharted waters with that level of that level of intimacy. uh we've seen Loki in multiple movies. We never knew Loki in that type of situation where he was fond of anyone, man or
Right.
woman. And we just met Sylvie, but Sylvie has been on a run and hiding in different Nexus events uh for her whole life pretty much. So she's probably never had, any relationships on an intimate level like that. So they're sitting down and they're close. And it's just this one part. And if you really think about it, it just makes you think because they're close and they're trying to get warm. These are 2 frost giants.
Oh yeah.
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 these are literally they shouldn't get cold, but they're trying to pretend, just so they
Yeah.
can, just so they can be
feel
close to each
human.
other.
To
Yes.
feel human.
If you really think
I
about that,
said that.
and how strong that moment is, that we have 2 beings that don't get cold, but they're trying to pretend to each other that they're cold so they can be close. That was a pretty cool moment. If you ask me, I thought that was a pretty cool moment. It's something that you don't really think. You have to think about it to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was pretty cool.
Loki
I think
even
that
came
was
with the blanket.
yeah.
He even conjured up a blanket,
Yeah.
And I said that too. I said that like I was like, they frost giants, how they cold?
Yeah, how they getting cold? So
You
it was just a pretty cool moment. If it probably went over a lot of people's heads, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But I
But
think
that,
they tried to humanize him in that moment. That was dope.
right,
That was dope.
right. I thought
Now
that was
I
pretty
have
cool.
a question that'll probably blow y'all minds. Y'all ready?
Okay, go ahead.
The rings on the desk in Renfield's office that was supposedly made by Mobius.
The rings. Which ones?
Yeah. Okay.
The
So
the
what
stains.
was
missed
the
the rings.
episode?
The stains on the
Episode
desk.
3, I think. Episode 3, Mobius and Renslayer are in the office and they're having tea. And they're joking around, and then she's getting on his case about signing documents properly, getting her, crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
Mhm.
And he made a remark about her being so anal and not keeping her desk clean at the same time because of the rings made by the cut on her
Right.
desk. And she told him that he was the one that made all those rings. And he keeps saying that he cannot remember that. He also said when he met the Loki variants, he doesn't remember catching them all. Yet, every file in the TVA says a Mobius and Mobius pruned every Loki in the void.
So are you saying that even in the
How
show,
is that possible?
Without them
I didn't
saying
catch
it,
that.
they
I
say
did not
he's a
catch that.
variant. They're all variants.
Yeah.
They're all
I mean, I thought-
Even Renslayer, she's a variant also.
I mean, that was established in the show. So was
Right.
that was the precursor to them revealing it? Was that what you're saying in it? Or are you saying
I'm
that even
guessing,
in this
but
show that there's multiple Mobiuses?
even in this show, the one that we're watching with the one timeline, there has to be multiple Mobiuses.
Okay.
You got so in the comic book, they made every like Charlie was saying, every diplomatic agent, it was a Mobius variant, and they did that so that they wouldn't have any problems when it came to certain judgment. Everybody would be on the same page. It would never be a tiebreaker. Everybody would agree. That was the whole point. So here in this particular TVA, while we think there's just one, there can also be others, and they're just not aware of it. Well, it might be changed now, but
look at all that space
he doesn't remember
in the limbo.
They had they had way too much space. He doesn't remember making the rings, and he doesn't remember catching the Gator Loki or the classic Loki at that. If you check when you
somebody had to catch him.
If you listen to the it says so in every file, and Mobius himself said so at the beginning. He said he caught every last other variant of Loki, which is why he's the one trying to catch this particular Loki now, because he's caught every other variant. If he's caught every other variant and every file in the TVA says Mobius and Mobius caught these variants, how does he not remember them?
Right. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I'd never caught that. That's that's an astute observation, Miss Nina. I didn't even catch it, but it's so true. Now that you explain that to me, yes, he should have at least remember most of the Lokis. And with the rings on the desk, yes, I was
even the snow globes. Supposedly, he gave her the snow globes as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
From
he
one
asked
of his
about the snow
excavations.
He asked about the snow globes, and she was like, "You gave it to me."
Yeah.
So
this show is very nuanced. Like you really have to be paying attention to catch it.
I love how it's like a breath of fresh air at the same time. Like it's still the same things that they've been doing, but it's kind of new still at the same time. It's not like
I want to.
It's not getting stale, I guess.
I want to ask where's old girl going? Judge the RNA Renslayer. Where is she going? What is she doing?
That's what you got to think about.
What information did he give her?
Exactly. Because how do we know he was not banking on Sylvie killing him in the first place? He gave Renslayer files.
Right.
But so what happens if Sylvie didn't kill him?
Okay, so if it's
then
multiple,
Renslayer got files to what? And what would she have changed if Sylvie and Loki decided to take over the one timeline? Then what?
All right. Okay. So the way I think about this, like y'all just said, and this is some of it's coming to me. Like I said, it's multiple TVAs, I guess, and multiple timelines, multiple TVAs attached to each timeline. Right? There's probably only one Miss Minutes. What if the real King the Conqueror sent her down to say, come work on side next to me. Come work here. Come do this. Gave her specific instructions, which is why when she left, she said, well, I'm going to find free will. Because she at that point probably already knew what free will was, because she got some type of information that we couldn't see. I don't know.
Right.
That's maybe my idea.
No, that's a pretty good deduction. Right. That's a pretty good deduction. That's a pretty good deduction, because in the comic books, that's his lover.
Yes.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that's a pretty good deduction. And if she goes to go get free will, who's to say she's not going to fall in love with the man in charge?
Well, I think when she says when she says, "I'm going to find free will," she's
Mhm.
speaking to whoever is pulling the strings, whether it's King the Conqueror or whoever it is.
Right.
I'm going to find free will. I'm going to find whoever just sent me these instructions. Remember, Miss Minute says,
Right.
Miss Minute said, "This is the information you need." I know that's not what you asked for, but this is the
But
information
this is what you need.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I think it's something to that. Again, we won't find out to Loki season 2, but
Oh man.
in that, while we own Loki season 2, what are y'all expecting from Loki season 2?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think
I'm
we got to see some of these movies first to see where it's headed.
yeah, I
Because
don't know.
how many of those shows have been greenlit for a second season?
None of them.
This
As
is the
far
only
as we
one.
know, Loki.
Right.
It's the only
So
I
one.
remember
I
fussing at
I said that.
fussing at Nina. I remember fussing at Nina some episodes on a podcast where
Yep.
I was thinking they were going to come out with a second season WandaVision and Falcon
Nope.
and the Winter Soldier, and that looks like it's not happening. Definitely not happening. But
Nope.
we do know a Loki season 2 is coming out. But at
Right.
what point?
Yes.
At what point? Is this going to be a few years from now after they ran off about 4 or 5 movies, or are we getting a season 2 in
Well,
2022?
here's the thing. If you really want to appease the fanboys, do it like in the comics. In the comic book, Kang, this nigga popped up everywhere. They just get through dealing with some, like, I can't remember, some manifestation of Nightmare possessed some people in the comic book and took over a small town, and they had to get the help from the Immortals and shit like that. And then as soon as they got back to their fucking console, like, Tony was pouring some juice. Here come Kang. Like, I'm hearing motherfuckers. Like,
And he pop up like a bad
like,
zit on date night.
So
it's like
all the
you
time
can't get
too.
rid
He
of
pop
him.
up like a bad zit.
right. So
And it'd be like, didn't we just get rid of your ass? Yeah,
Right.
no, okay. So now we gotta
so
get rid
this
of
guy
you
just
again.
pops up. He just pops up. And,
Keep popping up.
wow. Okay. So that's what we got
He
to
just
expect.
pops
He's
up.
just going to show up. So
The
do
way
you
it's
guys think?
supposed to be.
Do you guys
The way
think?
it's supposed to be.
Do you guys think that this
See?
is going to be like like he's the main, like Kang is going to be the main villain, or is it like a sub villain that's just just going to show up every now and then? And
I think Kang is one of those villains. Kang is one of those villains where he can get people to work for him.
Right.
Kang is he's smart enough to manipulate others into doing what he wants to do. Way better at it than Thanos as well.
So
Thanos mostly like on some muscle. Like he'll do something to you like that, but right. Kang can basically erase you from history. Like it's crazy. He knows that much about the timeline and stuff like that he can just get rid of you. So it's with Kang, it's kind of like a mini boss in a game, but he's as tough. He's as tough as a main boss.
Gotcha. So he's gonna kind of be annoying, like he's gonna kind of be annoying, like Q in Star Trek. Like he just gonna be like annoying and leave and cause a little trouble. And is it kind of like that, or is it?
I don't know about a little trouble because I see
Kang
like
alters
again,
shit.
He does, and it's all to his benefit. Like he got Doom to fuck with the Fantastic Four once so they can make another portal to an alternate dimension. Unbeknownst to Dr. Doom, that he was making an opening for Kang ass. Like Doom opened this portal and was like, haha, I succeeded. Fuck you, Fantastic Four. And then out from the portal steps Kang and he fucks all 4 of them up and leaves.
Now Doom gotta work with the Fantastic Four to stop this dude.
Right.
Like that's how strong he is too. He's not like Ultron, like 3 or 4 people can handle him. It usually takes a team of Avengers to handle what's going on with Kang the Conqueror. And it's usually because he has like 4 or 5 little minions working under him that don't even know. So I can see like Val. I think old girl Val gonna be working for Kang the Conqueror too.
Who? No, who is that?
I don't know about that.
So Val if you remember, you remember the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and
Right.
how a girl with the purple hair came up to
Yeah.
US agent
Right.
and
Okay,
basically like she
got you.
needed to recruit him or whatever.
Okay.
I think Val is either this is my little theory, and I know it's a little off subject, but I
No,
think
go ahead, man.
Val is either going to be working for Kang, or she is a Skrull that is from another dimension that we can't trust. Something is up with her, and I like her. She's a great character, but it's something up with her. There's something going on with her, man. And I believe it has some. And her hair has been purple too. And I'm like, this is just something I'm throwing out in left field. Her hair is purple too. I have reason to suspect she kind of might be like assembling a team for Kane.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be
Wow,
like it hasn't been
that
done.
theory's kind of out there. The theory's
Not
kind of out there, but
necessarily.
it's kind of out there. But
Not
yeah, you know,
necessarily.
you don't think so?
Because they can take Kang's whole manipulation thing into getting Ross to make the Thunderbolt team so he can steal whatever he needs from them for his other devious plan. Like, and the Council of the Kings are legitimately following every single timeline to look for an end where it looks like somebody's going to throw off his plan. And that's
Right.
when a variant, a Kang, will come and be like, hey, I see you try to fuck some shit up. No, this is going to have to go this way. Like, they've sent, the Council of Kangs have sent a number of Kangs after the Avengers and other Marvel characters because they were going to destroy his particular plan. Like, he even tried to go back in time to kill them before they were born. That didn't work so good, like,
Gotcha.
at all, because a new form of superheroes came and just destroyed his shit. So,
Okay. So
like,
let's kind of bring it back in. How do you guys see this? You know, okay, so everything we got from Loki. How do y'all see this affecting uh the MCU from here on out? Do you guys think that this is like, and we kind of hit on it before, do you guys think that this is the direction they're going? This multiverse, these alternate realities, these variants just running rampant. Is this gonna bring in the X-Men? Is this the segue to bring in the Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer? Like, is this it? Is this that conduit that's going to give the fans what they want? Because you got X-Men fans. Ty's a big X-Men fan. Um, you know, I like the Fantastic Four. Is this that conduit? Is that conduit
oh yeah,
open for all this stuff to
hmm
be tied in now?
yep. I think with Loki, they made it so it doesn't matter what direction they go in. They can go in all of them now, so it doesn't matter. In the comic books, you got so many different variations of the Marvel universe. It's not even funny. Like, I'm
Got the Ultimate
still,
Universe,
you got the Ultimate Universe. You got the universe where Tony Stark and Captain America don't exist. You got the universe where
the
Captain America,
616, which is the normal one. Like,
yeah,
there's some.
you got the universe where Captain America took Tony's armor because Tony died early on and he wanted to pay tribute to him. You got universe, like, it's so many different variations and different routes that they can go in. And
Right, and we
with
don't
this,
know. We don't know
yep,
where it's
and with
going.
the timeline being open, Feige like, come on, everybody, let's go. Fuck it.
Right. What do you think? What do you think, Charlie?
I think they basically just made a major end for the rest of the characters. People like Deadpool, people that want to see like the Fantastic Four, X-Men, anything like that. They basically made it an off ramp to how they want to do it. I don't think they've pigeonholed themselves. Like she said, they can go and do whatever they want now. It's pretty much been explained that we can cross into whatever or whatever we want. So I think that's why we're getting the reports with like the Spider-Man movie about it being Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in them, with Mr. Molina and Jamie Foxx being villains in the movie. We've been getting a lot of reports about stuff like that. So I think it's almost inevitable that the multiverse be explored. You can't keep talking about it if you're not going to explore it. Look at
Right.
the Doctor Strange movie. Look at what's going on with Wanda, and then even at the end of the last Spider-Man, they mentioned the multiverse and how there is a multiverse. So it's just almost inevitable that you have to explore these options. It's just when, and people are going to be so thirsty for it. I think they're going to start disappointing people in the next few movies that come out, because there won't be any mention of those characters, but they'll be setting up like the building blocks for them to be there.
Got you. What you think, Ty? Like, what is this? Do you think this is just to usher in?
I don't know, bro. I don't. Like I said earlier, I don't know if this is just setting it up so that, let's say, when they bring the X-Men in, they were already doing time stuff and other scenarios. So is this just a setup so that they can swap new people in, and this is just somebody from a different multiverse? That's kind of where my head is going, but they just got to pull it off really well. Because like I said, it can get a little redundant.
They need new characters. They need new characters, and
I think the way this new direction is going, maybe though, it might just be pointing towards Secret Wars, because you set up all these multiverses and all these different things for different versions of people, and that's what Secret Wars really was. It was it was almost the start of the Kree Skrull War too. So it's kind of gonna snowball into a bunch of team up movies also. So I'm not mad at it. I think they're doing a pretty good job.
I don't want to overthink it. I just kind of want to sit back and
yes,
and enjoy it.
Definitely. We know what we're getting. We know we're getting some X-Men. We know we're getting alternate Spider-Man, and we know we're getting the Fantastic Four. So we know all this stuff is coming in. The Eternals. We know all this stuff is coming in. It's going to be cool. Maybe it's 6 or 7 years from now, but to see all these people on the screen at the same time would be dope. But we just got to wait for it, see how it ties everything in. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, they even got a casting for Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan. Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
They already got somebody casted for her, but they didn't say what movie she was gonna be in.
Right. All right. Well, that's it, guys. I want to thank you guys for showing up, running your mouths about this Loki show. I'm pretty sure from the consensus of everybody, it was a hit. Can't wait to see more, and just check us out on a newer episode, or the next episode of CTD Roundtable. We are out.